Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be testing out the brand new Mac Studio Waterweight Concealer, which I have right here, and I'm going to be testing it against my old faithful, my holy grail, Mac Pro Longwear to see which wins. Is the concealer off? So I will put up here the information and the facts and the deets that you need to know about each of these concealers. Obviously this one, the Pro Longwear, has been around for a very, very long time. It's a big favourite of a lot of people, whereas this one is literally just brand new. This one is very full coverage, very long wearing, waterproof, all of those kinds of things. This one is designed to be much more lightweight, buildable coverage, hydrating on the under eye. So I'm hoping that this one is going to be really kind to like fine lines and wrinkles, and really sit really nicely on the skin and be very natural, which is something that this one does not. So I guess this one is, you know, really full coverage. I really enjoy wearing it. It's my favourite concealer as far as how it looks on my under eye area. I do have fine lines and wrinkles, and it does not emphasize them or soak into them as badly as a lot of concealers do. So this is the best one I have found for my skin, for my age and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping this one is kind of going to give me, you know, maybe a little bit less coverage, but is hopefully going to be really, really kind to fine lines and wrinkles and look very, very natural. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm going to put the Pro Longwear under one eye and the Waterweight under the other and see which looks best. So let's get stuck in. Okay, so I'm going to start off with my Pro Longwear because that is the one that I know. So this I have in the shade NW20, which is like the pinker shade. So this is one pump. As we know, Pro Longwear comes in a pump. It's a very thick. You can see it's not moving at all, and one pump of this is like enough, more than enough, that you would want to do like your whole, not your whole face, but you know, all the places where concealer would go. So I'm just going to use this one under the eye so we get a comparison, and then I'm going to use the new one in all the other places. It's kind of hard to do half your nose and half your chin, you know. So just using a decent amount of this. So you can see I used a decent amount of concealer and it has got good coverage. It says it's full coverage, which I guess it is. I mean, you can see in comparison to this side, I do have like quite a lot of darkness under here, discoloration, and most of that is gone now, but I can always still see just right in the corner this little bit here that pokes through. So that's kind of the standard that I get from my Pro Longwear. So I'm just going to set that with my RCMA No Colour Powder, as I always would before anything bad happens. So I find with this concealer that I get like no creasing or anything. It does kind of a little bit accentuate, you know, fine lines as opposed to using no concealer, but I don't know any concealer that doesn't do that, and I find this one is the kindest to those lines, so that's the reason why it's like my go-to. So now I've got the new concealer, which I have in the shade NC20, so this is a warmer toned shade. Oh my god, it looks so light. Okay, so this is the comparison. They are the same amount of product. This one feels quite weighty. It's actually glass, which I wasn't expecting. I kind of think the bottle looked plastic and I was expecting it to be like, you know, squeezable, but it is actually glass, and it has like a little dropper. So they say you can apply this straight onto your face, or obviously you can put it, okay, so it's not as light as it looked in the bottle. That's a relief. So yeah, you could either just drop it straight onto your face, but I'm gonna drop it onto my palette because that seems like it could be quite messy. So I'm just gonna give it a bit of a shake. It sounds really liquidy. So let's see. Just gonna wipe off any excess with the dropper. I feel like I'm doing science. Okay, so obviously this is much easier to control the amount that you get out. I'm assuming that's Yeah, so it is like running. You can see already it's a lot lighter. So this is good that you can actually control the amount that you're gonna kind of like pump out a lot easier, because it's obviously got that dropper, so you can suck up and you can just literally drop it on one drop at a time. So the shade actually looks pretty good. It is really, really watery. You can just see it going there. So it is really thin, really liquidy. I guess is what you expected from the description. This is so strange. This is much watery than any concealer I've ever used. Like the only concealers I've kind of used is like the Maybelline Age Rewind, and I've used Tarte Shape Tape, so, and obviously the Pro Longwear. So I guess this is the most sort of thin consistency that I've used, because all those concealers are obviously on the thicker side. It's interesting. So yeah, you can see that yellow undertone is definitely pulling through. It's a pretty good shade for me. It's not crazily bright, but it is slightly lighter than my skin tone right now. Okay, and there's definitely less coverage on this side, you can see that. Could maybe have gone a shade lighter, and that would have been the lightest shade, so that is the trouble. I'm just gonna go straight in with a sponge down my nose and on my Cupid's bow. Yeah, I mean, it's blending in absolute easy as pie. Straight away, I'm kind of noticing a bit more creasing, and like my lines look worse on this side. In a second, we'll zoom in to check on that. I'm going to try and slightly build it up, because it does say it's buildable, and at the moment I've not got as much coverage as I would like. So let's see what happens there. I think if you're going to say something's buildable to full, it needs to build nicely, not just, you know, start caking or anything like that. It's got to build nicely, otherwise it's really not buildable. Okay, I'm going to set this down and then we'll zoom in so we can have a look at this together. Okay, so here's my eyeballs, nice and close up. Now, I would say that now that I have added some more to the water weight side, it has probably got almost like for like coverage with the Pro Longwear. However, I hope this is coming across on camera as it is to me in the mirror, but it has so much more creasing and my lines look so much worse, and it's actually almost creating a bag that I didn't know I had. Let's just see if my camera can pick up the creasing that's happening on this side, and you can see the lines look way worse on this side, even to the point where they're settling in here. It's almost creating like a bag under my eye. Whereas this side, obviously you can see my fine lines, they're still there, doesn't get rid of them, but they look way better than this side, which I really wasn't expecting. So that's disappointing. Okay guys, so I wanted to just quickly finish off my makeup so I could just keep, you know, checking in on it and just reflecting, giving it some time to settle in and see if it gets worse or better as like it just has time to sit on the skin and all that kind of stuff. And I'm so disappointed. I really thought this was going to be really good for sort of you know, lines and creases, because it's, you know, supposed to be very lightweight and very hydrating, which to be fair it is. It does feel light under the eye. I don't really feel like there's anything there, but I don't really feel like that with the Pro Longwear either. I can barely feel a difference. It feels comfortable. It does feel hydrating, but yeah, only maybe slightly more so than my Pro Longwear. Coverage wise is actually better than I expected, because I thought it was going to be a lot less coverage than my Pro Longwear, and I would say that they are basically on a par. I think it would be very easy actually to use a lot of this without realizing, because it is so thin, and especially if you're trying to build up the coverage, I think you're gonna need to use quite a bit of the water weight. The issue I have is this creasing, so let's just have a real close look, and I'm sure that you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. So under here, can you see how that has settled into those fine lines and has creased, and it is really exaggerating the lines in my under eye area in comparison to this side. Like, to me, in the mirror, I can see quite a dramatic difference between the two, and this one looks way worse, to the point where I literally want to go and take it off now. Like, I don't even want to leave the house looking like this. I feel like it's aging me by 10 years. Yeah, I'm so disappointed. I really thought this was going to be such a great concealer for people with fine lines and wrinkles in the under eye area. The only people I really can see this working for is people with very young under eye areas, people who are maybe in their 20s or even younger, who do not have any fine lines or wrinkles for this to soak into, and you just want a really hydrating, really moisturizing under eye area, because it does feel light, it does feel fresh, and it does have a natural finish to it. However, if you have any fine lines and wrinkles, it's going to very much age you, which it has done to me. And I do think there are like much better lightweight concealers out there. You do really expect these lightweight, moisturizing, hydrating concealers to not have this creasing, you know, aging problem, because you kind of expect that from a drier, matter, fuller coverage concealer. I was expecting to lose some coverage with this one, but for it to be kinder to my lines and wrinkles, and in fact, I haven't really lost any coverage. However, I have gained a massive issue with my fine lines and wrinkles. So yeah, so it's a fail for me, I'm afraid. I kind of, you know, it looks fine in the other areas that I used it. So my cupid's bow, my chin, my nose, my forehead, you can't see it's undetectable. It looks very natural. So I guess if I want to get some use out of this product, I can use it in those areas. I quite like the shade on me. It's a bit more natural than the NW20, because obviously that has the pink undertone. I was pleasantly surprised by the coverage I was able to get out of it, but that is it. I cannot see me touching this again. I will give it a few more goes just for you guys, just to see maybe if there's better application methods or a better way to stop some of this creasing and the emphasis of lines, but I can't see how, really. I can't see how. So there you go, those are my very unfortunate thoughts on the MAC Waterweight Concealer. I am gutted. I'd love to know if you guys have tried it and if you've had any better results than me, or if you have any tips or suggestions to stop this happening. Please let me know in the comments below if there's any updates, if anything changes, if I keep using it and find a better way to get around this problem, then I will let you know in the comments or in the drop down bar down below. I really hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon. Please like and subscribe before you go. Take care for now. Bye.